Now, critical thinking. This will be good. I'm looking for another aha moment. So now you learn this bond. How does the bonds differ from notes? Especially what kind of notes? Your mortgage. So far what we did is a bond. Here's the number, principal amount. You bring up to the present value. And interest payment, periodic interest payment. You bring up the present value as an annuity. Okay, that was the bond. Then how does that mortgage notes different? It's very similar. Mortgage notes is like your principal payment. You are buying house when?
Now.
Now, okay. What's the housing value? House price? You know, your realtor tell you, right? Your house is, how much is house in Cupertino?
Million.
Oh, gee, it's a depressing number, right? So you do need that money now, right? Right? It's okay. Let's talk about one bedroom house, 1 million, one bath. No, just kidding. 1 million. So you do need that money now. As opposed to bonds, you are going to pay this later. You are bringing to the bond selling price now. This is not given. You are calculating this one. But house buying, you are buying a house. You have to pay $1 million to the seller. But you don't have $1 million. So what do? You go to mortgage broker. You go to the bank. You borrow the money. So you are borrowing the money, $1 million. Okay, you have to make down payment. But let's not talk about down payment. So 360 payment, do you know that? Oh my goodness, you have to make a 360 payment. How many years?
30.
30 years. The rate is given to by the Bank of America through the mortgage broker. So 360 payment, that's this right here. That's when you're having all the parties going on. Your champagne, open up, your house is free and clear, right? But I'm talking about your grandkids. You are already under the graveyard, right? So they are actually enjoying the house. This payment, the last payment you made, guess what? What's the principal balance? $0. Right, $0. So that's how. So you don't know this payment. You don't know this payment. You know interest rate. I don't know. I just make a 5%. Can you get that number? The interest payment? How much you're borrowing? $1 million. The principal has the 0. It's the same thing, because how did you get this number on the bond? You just did principal times the present value factor, that the one shot factor, and how did you get interest payment and multiply by present value annuity factor? Remember that? So now this number is given in this situation. So now divide instead of multiply, divide. That's all. So it's a lot easier than you think. I don't want you to think it's a hard question. It's actually quite making sense when you do this. That's why I'm doing this. I hope you like this question, right? You have a handout in your hand as well as on the page out. Those who are listening on YouTube, right? It's in the page out. So it's just one simple question. De Anza Company was started in January 1 when it issued $60,000 face value term loan to Furiel Bank. So you are getting $60,000 now. The note, I'm talking about the bonds. Note carry 10% annual interest rate and 3-year term to maturity. Principal and interest paid via single $24,127 payment made on December 31st of each year of those 3 years. Assume that De Anza Company earns cash revenue $7,000 per year. Let's not worry about the cash revenue. So what you just read, if I put it on a timeline, is okay. So I'm gonna switch the screen since you have the hard copy in your hand. What's the scenario? How much you are borrowing today?
60,000.
When?
Now.
So 60,000, can I say that's the present value? Right? How many years?
3 years.
Yeah. 3 years.
Different. This does say 3 years.
Yeah. You want to pay off in 3 years, right? How much?
24,000.
Right. Yeah, that's the payment. That's the equal payment, fixed payment. But 3 years from today, the money you're borrowing today is 60,000. The 3 years from today, what should be the balance?
30.
Thank you. Just like a mortgage. Mortgage is 30 years, not 3 years, right? All right. Anybody want to get a job as a mortgage broker, a banker, lending, right? That's actually pretty good job in those mortgage go-go days, housing feverish days. Actually, many of my students, they become millionaire. They just have a high school degree. They just purchase not nice calculator. That's all they need. They really made a bundle. They driving what, Jaguar. I mean, they are still 20s. I mean, that housing market has gone down, but still a good job. Anyway, so if you want a mortgage broker, a customer came to you, customer buying $60,000 house. There's no such a thing, only in Montana, right? But anyway, I got an email from Montana people now. So $60,000. So you have to tell your your client, I'm sorry, your monthly payment. Am I right? How much is monthly payment? You're relying on the calculator alone? You have to understand that. How do you come up with this number? In this case, I gave you number. What number did I give you?
24,127.
How was I able to give you this number to you? Because I already calculate this number when I'm creating this question. Have you wondered how the heck he come up with that specific number? Have you ever wondered that number? Okay, here comes. Yeah, here comes. Okay, so